Hello, I'm Amal Venkatraman, and this is project 3 of CS50's web programming with Python and JavaScript. So this is a pizza ordering app where users can order pizza and other items from this quote-unquote shop, and administrators can then see what users have ordered, and they can also add or modify or delete existing menu items. This web app uses Django for the backend and JavaScript for the front end. First, let's see the app in action. In order to run it, you just have to open a terminal or a command prompt window in the same folder where the app is located, and run it like you run a Django app Python manage.py run server. Please remember to use pip and install all necessary packages before you do this for the first time. So it's telling that the app is running at 127.0.0.1 colon 8000. So let's go there. So this is the main ordering area, and you can order pizza, pasta, salad, subs, dinner platters, etc. And this contains all of the items that CS50 has told us to add, and you can also add more using the admin interface. But first, let me show you how to use this from a user perspective, and then I can show the administrator perspective. So first, let's create a new account. So we have the option to either log in or register. So let's register. You can go test user test.com. So it told us that we've created an account. It's created an account for us, and we can log in now. So we're now successfully logged in as test. So the navbar is changed to cart and log out, so there's no option to log in or register now. And we can see the menu just like we saw before. And another feature that I didn't show previously is that these links actually automatically scroll you to each of the group of items. For example, if I go to subs, I can see all the subs now. If I go to regular pizza, I can go to regular pizzas. So let's order some items now. If we go to the cart, we see that there's nothing in the cart right now, and we have no option to check out. So let's go and order some items. So I'm just going to order a few items with probably none of these toppings will go well together, doesn't matter. And if we go to the cart now, we see all of our items with the name, type, size, toppings, and price. And we can see our total price, and we have an option to either clear the cart or check out. The checkout button just sends your data to the server, so there's no credit card information or testing, etc. But it's really easy to hook it up to your credit card information, as it calls a function that sends it to the server, and the function can easily be modified. So now if we click checkout, we are redirected to another page. Now it says that it's order number 7, ordered by a test user on 2020-404 with 4 items, and we can see a list of all these items similar to the cart page. And we also see this a warning saying that the order is not yet completed. I'll show you where this goes later on when I log in as the administrator. So let's switch over to the administrator account and see what we can do on that end. As you can see, I've switched over to the admin account, and one of the differences here is that there's a direct link to the admin interface. In the admin interface, we can see all the categories for which we can add or modify items. Let's add an item first. I'll go over what this type is and how the database is structured in a minute, but for now, let's add this. So now I've added this test pizza, and if I view the site, I can see that I have this item called the test pizza. And this is just like any other pizza where we can just add toppings, and we can add this to cart, and we can see it's here. But let's clear the cart for now, because I'm also going to show how we can delete it just like we added it. You can select this and delete, and now when we view the site again, there is no test pizza. Another thing that we can see in the admin interface is all the orders that have been created by the users. So if you go to orders here, we can see the list of all the orders, and we can see that the ones that have not yet been completed appear before the ones that have been completed. And if we see this is order number 7. So we can see that the users who completed this and the number of items, and we get to complete it. But this ordered items doesn't look that well as a JSON inside this text field. So we know this is order number 7, so we can go to this URL, view order, question mark order number equals the order. So now we can see, just like we saw from the regular user, everything else is the same, but now we have a button that says mark is complete. And if we click this, it says the order is completed. This also immediately reflects on all users who are viewing this page, and they all will see that the order is completed once this button is pressed. That's all of the features the app has. Now let's see the code that makes it all work. Since this is a very big app, I cannot show all of the files that make this work, but I'll show you mostly the ones that I've modified hugely, and all of the really important ones. A quick note on how this is structured. There are two apps, the Orders app and the Users app. The Orders app is responsible for most order-related tasks, and the Users app is responsible for the register, login, and logout. So here are all the important files and what each of them does. The admin.py file registers models to the admin interface and also gives custom filters and view options. This is the base template, and it has all the links to scripts and style sheets, as well as a nav bar and an area for flash messages, and this is the actual main body area. This is the main order page, which is mostly JavaScript, and this is what does all of the ordering, adding to cart, populating the page, loading toppings, etc. It's almost 300 lines long, and most of the work is done by the JavaScript. The HTML is actually like not much. This is the cart page. It's also mostly JavaScript, and here it is. This is the option for checkout and clear, etc. And this is the table with all the items. The view order page is very similar to the cart page. It also has a very similar table, but it also has the option that if the order is completed, it will show that it's completed. Otherwise, it will show it's not. And if the user is a super user or administrator, they have the option to mark this complete. Here's the register page that has the register form in it. That's all. The login page is very similar, and it's also has the register form. This is a form that I've added, a custom login register form with the first name, last name, etc. And here is the models.py file. So there's a class type, which is just used to signify what kind of item it is, whether it has toppings, sizes, and different configuration of that. This is the item, which has all of the fields like the name, type, price, toppings, etc. And all of the other classes just extend this same class. And this is made so that they all can be made with less code. All of this is the exact same thing. Less coding required to actually make all these. And each of these is individually registered to the admin site, so we can view them separately and also call them separately in the coding part. And there's also one for an order, which has the user, the number of items, the actual ordered items. This is a long character field, and it contains like a stringified JSON, and also the date when it was complete and whether it was completed or not. Most of these classes also have some functions associated with them. All of the main classes have a stir function that just returns their name, but for the order it returns a long string with all of the information about it. And they also have a getInfo function, which returns a JSON in most cases or a string. And this was what I mostly used when I was coding the part. And the order also has two functions to check if it is complete and to complete it. Here's a style sheet. I didn't do much styling here, as mostly I use Bootstrap classes for all the styling. Here are the views for the login app. This just has register, login, and logout. Then we have the views for the order app. This is index that returns the actual index page with all of the items that it should query for. Menu returns all of the items of a specific category. Toppings is similar to menu, but it returns all the toppings for a specific category. Price gets the price of an item. This is a good practice to do it in the backend, as people can modify it if you do that in the front end. And this is the order, which actually takes the JSON for the order and stores it, along with some more information about the order. And this views the order, and this can be used to complete the order. Yeah, there are three functions just for the order. Here's the urls.py file. This is just boring. It just redirects all the URLs to some function. This is the URLs for the main app. This just has the exact same thing for orders and also register, login, and logout. Here's a README file which can be found along with the app. Another feature that I want to talk about is the app's extensible nature. If you wanted to add another type of item, we just have to add it to the models.py file over here, extending the item class. And we have to pass it into the index function over here and the admin interface over here. And we're done. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video. I'll see you next time.